Welcome back to the Pottery. I'm Tess, and I'm glad you're here. Whether you never miss an episode or you just landed here today, a quick note for the new folks. When you hear this sound, that's your cue to grab a journal and dive into the prompt. This podcast is interactive, and journaling is how the real work happens each week. The prompts in your journal are designed to go hand in hand with the episode, guiding you deeper into your own experience. Last week, we talked about how negative beliefs and repeating patterns can run your life on autopilot if you let them. If you caught that episode, you've had a chance to notice your own old stories at work. If not, don't sweat it. You're right where you need to be today. This week, we're going deeper. We'll break down how those old patterns actually take hold, and you'll learn how to start letting go and make self-love an actual practice, not just a wishful thought. My promise is real talk, practical tools, and a no-fluff approach. Let's get started. All right, so let's talk about what letting go actually means. I don't believe in pretending everything's fine when it's not. And I don't expect you to suddenly wake up and just love yourself because some random podcast host said so. Letting go of old patterns isn't about ignoring your pain or putting a positive spin on every mess. It's about actually looking at what's been running the show in your life. Those habits and self-criticisms you may not even notice until you stop and get honest. Self-love, for me, is about making the decision each and every single day to stop beating yourself up for what you wish you had done or for what you're not. It's choosing to treat yourself the way you'd treat someone you actually care about, even when it feels weird or uncomfortable at first. Today, I'm going to give you some real steps for breaking those patterns, and we'll do one together later in today's meditation. But for now, just get curious. Notice if you already have a critical voice popping up as you listen. Notice if any part of you is saying, yeah, but that won't work for me. You don't have to change it right this second. I just want you to notice. We're here to build some awareness, and that is step one. All right. It's about that time, so when you hear the gong, you know what to do. Grab your journal. Here's your first prompt for today. Write down one negative pattern or self-criticism or old habit that keeps tripping you up. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Maybe it's over-apologizing, comparing yourself to others, procrastinating, or talking yourself out of good things. Whatever pops up first, I want you to go with it. And be honest. There are no wrong answers. For just a second, if you're safe to do so, and I want you to think. Is there something that you keep wishing was different, but it never seems to change? Or maybe there's a habit or a thought that just shows up when you're stressed or you're tired. Something that gets in your way. Even if it feels small, I want you to write it down. If you still feel blank, just put down how you feel right now. Sometimes that's the best place to start. Pause if you need more time And when you're ready, let's keep going. When you look at what you just wrote, I want you to know this. You're not broken. And this pattern doesn't have to define you. Every single one of us has these old scripts running in the background, built by years of experience, survival, and sometimes just plain habit. Here's the thing. Nobody tells you these patterns developed for a reason. Usually, it's protecting you. Maybe, once upon a time, staying quiet kept the peace. Maybe apologizing all the time kept you safe or won approval. But just because an old pattern helped you survive once doesn't mean it's helping you live now. If you're frustrated that you haven't just snapped out of it, I want you to take a breath, because you haven't done anything wrong. I want you to release the self-judgment. This is about building some understanding and seeing yourself with a little bit more compassion, so real change can happen. Ready to take the next step? Let's move deeper. All right, now that we've put your pattern out in the open, here's where the magic happens. Letting go doesn't mean pretending the pattern never existed or forcing yourself to be positive all the time, because that's not real. What's real is giving yourself permission to see things a little differently and do something new, even if it's a small step. So, here's what I want you to do. Look at what you wrote and just ask yourself, is this pattern helping me become the person I want to be? No need to judge yourself. Just notice your answer. This is the point where self-love steps in. Self-love isn't just bubble baths and affirmations. It's holding up a mirror to your own mess and deciding you're worth the effort to do better. It's rewiring your habits, challenging old scripts, and showing yourself some compassion while you change. We'll get practical in a minute, but for now, I want you to plant a seed. What would it look like or feel like to act from a place of self-love instead of this old pattern? Even just once this week. I want you to hold on to that question, actually. We'll use it soon. Are you ready to dive deeper? Because let's just keep on going. I'll be honest with you. There's someone that I love deeply. The kind of love you only get once in your lifetime. I've seen them keep their struggles completely hidden, trying to be strong for the world while carrying so much inside. And the truth is, I've done the same thing myself. It's a tough pattern. We want to protect ourselves or others, but the silence just creates more distance and more pain. I learned the hard way that nobody wins in that dynamic. Vulnerability, actually asking for support or even just admitting that you need it, is real courage. It's not weakness. Most of the healing happens not when you hold it all in, but when you are brave enough to open up, even just a little. You are not alone if this hits home, and you're definitely not stuck. Now, let's put this into practice with something real. Your self-love task for the week. Are you ready? Here we go. We're going to get deep, so set everything else aside if you can. Find a spot where you feel safe enough to really pause. If you're able, I want you to put your hand on your heart, right there, right where you feel it beat. Take a few slow breaths in and out, letting the air remind you that you're alive right now in this moment. Feel your heart and your chest beating. And I want you to think about that old pattern that you wrote. Maybe it's been with you for a very long time. Maybe it's heavy. Maybe it comes and it goes. Whatever it is, I want you to see it for what it is. It's a part of your story, but it's not your whole story. Now, in this moment, I want you to imagine you are looking at yourself, not as you are today, but as a child. Do you see you standing there? Your younger you? Picture all of the times that you struggled and nobody saw. Picture all of the times you hurt, but you kept going anyway. I want you to bring up real compassion, the kind that you would offer someone you love who is hurting and trying, even if they've messed up. In this moment, I want you to say out loud, preferably if you can, I see you. I see the pain that you've carried. I forgive you for not knowing better. I forgive you for being scared. I forgive you for holding on to defenses that once kept you safe. Now say, I give you permission now to try another way, to let yourself grow. I give you permission to let yourself be worthy of love and support, just as you are. Let every breath be acceptance. And if tears come, let them come. If anger shows up, just notice it and breathe through it. There's no performance here, just pure, honest being. And stay with it. Now, as you breathe, imagine your heart slowly filling with warmth. This is your resilience. This is your courage. I want you to say after me, I choose myself. I choose to show up for myself, even when it's hard. No more hiding. I am worthy of compassion, patience, and real love. Sit with that for as long as you need. There's no rush. Let this moment be whatever you need it to be. Relief, release, or just quiet. And when you're ready, open your eyes or bring yourself gently back. Take a moment now, and I want you to write whatever came up for you. This week, your mission, every single day, even if it's just for 1 minute, is to pause. Put your hand on your heart, like we did just now, and practice seeing yourself with that same compassion. This is your new pattern, 1 breath, 1 moment at a time. This is where real magic happens. Take a breath. You just did something powerful. Maybe you're feeling lighter. Maybe you're feeling raw, or maybe you're just unsure what to feel at all. All of that is perfectly okay. This work isn't supposed to look one way or another. Any one way. It's about being honest with yourself and giving yourself space to grow. Right now, grab your journal one more time. Write down anything that surprised you during that meditation. Did you notice a new feeling, memory, or even a resistance to what I asked you to say? Did you feel the urge to cry, get mad, or maybe just shut down? I want you to be real. That's where the growth is. This is where you make it yours. Reflection is the bridge between the old story and the new pattern. Your challenge is simple. For the next week, keep noticing your pattern when it pops up. Each time, pause, even if it's just for 10 seconds, to put your hand on your heart and remind yourself that you deserve a different outcome. Write down those moments and track what comes up, even if it's messy. You don't have to get this perfect. It's about progress, not perfection. You're doing the real work right now. That's something most people never have the courage to face. Let's get into some tools that you can actually use starting right now. The first one is pretty simple, but it's not always easy. Catch yourself in the act. When you notice that old pattern, I want you to stop, even mid-thought if you can, and call it out. Say to yourself, that's that old story again. Just that. Notice it, name it, and hit pause. You don't have to fix it immediately. You just have to be aware enough to step back. Next, add a reset. Whenever you catch yourself falling into that old pattern, this week, place your hand on your heart, right there. Even if you're in the middle of your day, and say, I see you, and I choose something else now. If you're at work, in public, whatever, just do a silent version, or even just a slow breath to reset. Find something that works for you. The point is, you're calling it out and you're choosing to do something different. And there's one more. Start a wins list. At the end of each day, write down one thing, no matter how tiny, you did differently. Or one moment when you treated yourself with even a little more kindness. Celebrate that. These micro wins add up faster than you think. Remember, change is a practice, not a finish line. Bit by bit, you're teaching your mind and your body that you deserve lasting self-love, not just survival. These practices might seem simple, but don't underestimate what they can do. Every time you interrupt that old pattern or choose even a tiny act of self-compassion, you're retraining your brain and body to expect something new. You're telling yourself on a deep level, hey, I matter. My needs, my feelings, they're worth showing up for. Why does this matter? Because the more you make self-love and self-respect a habit, the more you'll notice everything else in your life will start to shift. Relationships get stronger, stress levels drop, and you stop settling for less. You show up for opportunities you used to shrink from. The outside changes because your inside story is changing first. This is the real transformation, one action at a time, one day at a time. Now, to anchor all this, I've got a few final prompts and a closing message for you. All right, last journal prompt for today. This one is all about tracking your wins and rooting these new choices in your daily life. Write down one thing, anything at all, that you did differently today, or one moment where you showed yourself a little more patience or kindness, even if it was just pausing to notice your old pattern. That's a win. If nothing comes to mind yet, write what you'd like to try tomorrow. Commitment starts small, but it gets stronger every time you keep your word to yourself. Thank you for showing up today and doing the work. Seriously, you did something good for yourself, and that matters. Give yourself credit for that. If you want to reach out and share your story or connect with me more personally, just send me an email at thepottery@mantramud.com. I would love to hear from you. You can also connect with me on social media. All of my links are on my website at www.mantramud.com. Just remember that Mantramud is spelled with 2 D's. Once you're there, click on the podcast link. If you want to help keep this podcast going and get even more out of your journey, support me on Patreon or grab a podcast journal. The journal goes right along with the podcast. I wrote it to guide you through the episodes, and it's a really useful tool to have. Your support, whether buying a journal or joining Patreon, means the world and is how I'm able to keep making this show for you. Here's something to take with you into the week. No matter how many times you have to start again, you're not starting from scratch. You're starting from experience, and that's real progress. Mensana and Corpore Sano, a healthy mind and a healthy body. I'll see you next week.